Start recording. Go live. Good morning. Is the volume on? Yes. Are the cameras on? I hope so. Paul, is the sound okay? Because I've strapped it to my scarf today because it's brass monkeys here. Really cold today. Come on in. Welcome to the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft, which is what we're going to do today. Hey? Well, actually, no, we're not at home, are we? We're in Egypt. I'm loving it in Egypt, aren't you? Loving your artwork. You really enjoyed that vase. I think you did anyway. It was nice, wasn't it, on Monday? So what's today? Wednesday already. Wednesday, how are you? How are you? Coping? I know, it's gutty. It is a grind. You're not alone. You know, you really aren't alone. And everybody's trying so hard to stay upbeat, aren't we? Fake it to make it and all that. Best foot forward. You know, what's the option? What choices have we got, eh? Let me just get rid of all those. Come on in. It's lovely to have your company. You're not alone. If you get despondent, you really aren't. I wish I could find my nail file. Come on in. It'd be fine. Shut the door. It's freezing in here. I was running a bit late, so I've still got my tea bag in my cup. Do you do that? Well, really? Yeah, but I like it when it's strong. I like it strong, don't you? It's going to be a lovely cup of tea. Come on in. We're still in Egypt. Cool, we've had a really good trip this time. We've been to Giza, didn't we? We went to Giza, went down the Nile, went to Luxor, to the Karnak Temple, Valley of the Kings. That's where we're going now. Valley of the Kings. Let me just get rid of this. Otherwise it'll be like stew. I don't know if I'd use these on my eyes, like the Camilla tea. Right, that'll do. I'll sort it out later. Come on in. It's good to have your company. Proper builder's brew. That's right, Jane. Cheers. Right, relax. I've been going like the clappers today. So much for this lockdown and, you know, time to reflect. I've never worked so hard in my life. Weird, isn't it? But it's okay. It's a choice that I've made, isn't it? Choices, choices, choices. And I choose to stay busy because it helps my head. Stay with your hands, get with your hands, which is exactly what we're doing in the SHAC, isn't it? Staying busy with our hands enables us to get out of our heads because while we're focusing on what we're doing with our hands, we're not fretting about stuff that we have absolutely no control over. Okay? That's what we're doing. It's a beautiful, mindful process, isn't it? It's like yoga for the head. And so let's have a look. Are you ready to start? Look, do you remember when we did the lovely vase? I love this thing. I think I might bring it down in the living room and put a light in it so I can enjoy it. Yeah. See the light pouring through it here? It's a lovely thing. And, you know, it was interesting what we were talking about all these talented artists in the world, you know, millions of us. I would say us, I include us, you know, unsung creatives who just love being creative and do it art for art's sake, you know, just get on with it. We're not famous, we're not celebrities, we just produce. I mean, some of your artwork, and I kid you not, some of the artwork that I see is just wall-worthy, isn't it? Gallery-worthy, beautiful, beautiful artwork, you know? And we don't do it to make money, we don't do it to be millionaires, we do it because we can, you know? And I think we are among the luckiest people during this lockdown that we have that drive, that we have that creative mind that allows us or prompts us to get with our hands, you know? I do. And to me, it doesn't matter. Less and less, it gets less and less important to me how perfect the result is. Because it's in the doing of it that I get my fix, you know? It's not so much the product for me. Although it's nice when it looks good. You get a real rush, don't you, when it's good. So let's have a look what we're going to do today, shall we? See where we got to. Look, travel gently, which is exactly what I'm talking about. It's what I'm talking about. Travelling gently, you know. I thought today it'd be really fun to do some hieroglyphics. Yeah? So, if you just started with us, let's have a look at what we're going for. In the meantime, playing for time now, right? Lucy and I put together a download for you. Here we are. Look, a SHAC download. Now, if you go to the website and you'll see it will say, do you know where to get the digi downloads? Look, we put together a hieroglyphic alphabet for you. It's just fun, okay? Today is a fun day and quite educational, you know, quite educational, because hieroglyphics is obviously how they wrote in ancient Egypt, you know. So if you get a chance to go and get a download, Paul, lovely Paul's in the building with you. He will give you the link right now. Just print off that download while we get warmed up. And then it's a lot easier for you if you've got it in front of you, isn't it? On a piece of copy paper. So A4, that'll do the job. And then if you wanted to, you could even trace them out, couldn't you? You know, just to get the shapes right. I think it's quite interesting, you know. It's obvious, really, that would be how one would communicate. If you wanted to, you know, I mean, they weren't primitives, were they, by any stretch? But, you know, that they used images for language, you know, to communicate clearly, you know. So it's interesting to have a look at the letters that they use. So I'm going to waffle for a little while you download your printed image. If you haven't got a printer or you haven't got access, then don't worry. It will be on the screen as well. But ask Paul, you know, just give him your mailing address if you want us to mail it to you. It might take a week or so because at the moment we're really inundated with the sale orders. Don't put your private address on Facebook though. Just give it to Paul. He will give you an email to send it to. I think that's the best thing to do, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. Paul, are you in the building? And is the sound working? Because I haven't had a message yet. I hope so. If you've got any questions, ask Paul. He's your man. Just give me a clue, Paul. Let me know that the sound is good, because otherwise I'll have to repeat myself. Yeah, so we're going to download that. And while you're there, if you haven't downloaded Nefertiti, now's your chance, because that's a really good starting place too. Okay. Sorry, I'm not getting any response here, so my concern is that something's not working. Maybe somebody could just text me to let me know, because Paul's busy, clearly. Jim, perhaps somebody could just let me know. I'm feeling a little bit rudderless here, people. No, nobody's in. That's unfortunate. Okay. Wave at me and tell me then that it's all right, because clearly the system's collapsed. No good? All is good, Barbara. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Jane. Okay, continuing. Right. Let's have a look. So you're going to download this, right? And if you need that as well. Okay, good. And what we're going to do is have a look at the hieroglyphics. And then we're going to get some tracing paper. So get yourself a bit of tracing paper. I'll use that bit that I did the vase on. I'm just going to use this little piece. There we go, with a bit of copy paper underneath so I can see it. There you go, a bit of copy paper. Oh, I'm gathering all my bits here. Nice. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll write a couple of bits and pieces, right? Just try spelling out your name and things like that. And then we're going to make a border with our images. And I did a little flash of colour as well, because I thought it'd be nice to do some silly little signs. And I'm using the colour that's often used in hieroglyphics in the ancient, what they actually did use back in the day, which would have been the reds and the bloods and the oxides. And so we've got ochre, we've got the red, You know, we've got the blue, the indigo, you know, and we've got the green, the leafy green. So these are the colours that they used, and these are the colours that we should, you know, it's going to be a beautiful, typical Egyptian scene. Yeah. But today we're going to spell with our hieroglyphic alphabet. How's that sound? Okay. Right. I'm just playing for time so that you can get your alphabet printed out. I'm going to need my other glasses for this. I'm going to use a ruler. Yeah. I'm going to use a pencil. Right. And that's going to be my aligner. I need something to draw in a straight line, you know. And it's nice in a box. I looked it up. And they definitely wrote left to right. Sometimes you see it going down, don't you? In sort of in like a box. But no, definitely hieroglyphics is definitely left to right. Yeah. Right. Thumbs up if you've got your download, and then we'll have a look. Let's write a word together. Now, one of the things that I did know about hieroglyphics is that they didn't use vowels very often. Vowels, my mum calls them. They didn't use vowels. Wow. So A, E, I, O, and U. A, sometimes it was quite a hit and miss sort of thing with the vowels. So if you look at my Travel Gently, let's have a look at it, and you'll get the picture. So the T is a loaf of bread, believe it or not. Right? Look, if we put this up here, let's have a look at how I've spelt out my word, and then you'll see. So T is that thing there, which is the loaf of bread up here. See? I could put a couple of little lines in. The R is the mouth. See? The mouth. Or in some hieroglyphics, it's made as an I. So R, yeah, is a mouth. I get it. Right, I don't know why. Right, now A, I said that we don't usually do vowels, but it seems that the A is very popular, and I get why, because it's the vulture, the bird of prey, which you see in a lot of the hieroglyphic artwork. So I've got my vulture, and then the V and the W, the same thing. They're chicks. Look, see? Chickens. Chicks, chick, chick. So I just did a different sort of bird. Now the L is good, and I missed out the E. See, I didn't bother with the E, because you don't have to. It's not compulsory. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. If I had, it would have been a reed. See, the E's a reed. But the reeds are also the Y's. So I thought, I don't too many reeds. So now let's have a look. The V is the chick, the E I missed out, and the L is the lion. See, so I've written it above to make it easy for us. And the L's down here again on the gently. Then I've got it's not hard once you figure it out. Then the reed is the Y, should have had two, but in some symbols only use one. Then we've got the T again from the Travel Gently, so we've got the loaf. The N, interestingly enough, is water. So when you come up here, you'll see it's water. If you like jigsaw puzzles, you'll love this. And the G is a pot. See, there's the pot. So it's really easy to write with hieroglyphics once you know the connection between our alphabet and their symbols. Once you know that, you know, it's a Rosetta Stone moment, you see. So I thought it'd be really fun to say, right, if you've got it in front of you, decide what you want to say. Let's just give it a go, and then we'll write something. So let's do something really simple. Let's do art. So if we're going to do art, then it's going to be A, which is the vulture, R, which is the mouth, and T, which is the bread, piece of cake, right? A, R, T. So that's pretty basic. Now my name, it'd be it's got lots of legs and mouths in it. That makes sense. So I've got a leg, a vulture, and a mouth. Leg, vulture, mouth, vulture. Just figured that out. That's terrible. Leg voucher. It works, really. Don't say a word, right? My enemies watching will be going, yeah, that figures. So we've got a leg, vulture, mouth. Okay. Unfortunate name, Barbara, for this one. What about your name? Let's have a look what Jane's would be. Jane. Oh, Jane. Cobra, vulture. Well, it's no better, is it? Water. Reed. Cobra, snake. Vulture. Water, reed. What about Pat? Door, vulture, bread. That's not bad. That's not bad, Pat. You got away with it. Paul. Let's have a look. What would Paul be? Door, vulture. We're all a bit of a vulture here, aren't we? So you can see why they didn't bother with the vowels. Paul. Door, vulture, rope. Good God. And lion. There you go. So why don't we, just for fun, let's write now. See, I chose to write travel gently. God, I'm having a hot flush here. So I've already done my one across here, right? Why don't we just write, all you're going to do is just make, this is where these rulers come in handy with the grids. So because you can use the edge of the, you know what's not helping is that I've got two bits of copy paper going on here. Right, so for example here, I can use the grid to say, see, I'm using this line along the ruler here on the edge of the tracing paper, you see? And then that way I know it's straight. You get it? So I'm using and now I can use the line that I've just done to create the next aperture, if you like. So I'm going to use, there you go, see? So you can just make about 1/2 inch. I'm using 1.5 centimetres. There you go. So you just you're making a tunnel basically, and you can make it any width you want. This one's 1.5 centimetres. Inch people. I don't know where my inch ruler is. I'm still recovering from Sunday and Monday here. I don't know. Well, it's about, I'd say that's 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, wouldn't you? So you just need a little gap to put your words in, and then we're going to write something. Now, this is where you go back to your artwork and you decide, do you want to write travel gently? Do you want to write travel gently? You want to write the shack? You decide, it's your art. You write what you fancy. Hey? Write your name. You could write Nefertiti. Nefertiti, what would that be? Water, reed, horned viper, reed, mouth, tit, bread, slashes, oh God, slashes, bread again, slashes. She didn't think that through, did she? Right, well, forget about Nefertiti. That doesn't look very nice. See, I like travel gently because I've got some birds and lions going on in there. It's up to you what you're going to use. Decided? I'm playing for time so you can get your print. Has everybody got it now? Right. Okay, so you're going to give yourself plenty of room. So we're going to do it on tracing paper. I'm going to go with travel gently because I've done it once already. So travel gently. First of all, we need the bread. Right? So what you could do if you want is just write down, just put T-R-A-V. If you want to do an E, put an E in, L, and then G-E-N-T-L-Y. There you go, travel gently. So I know what I'm looking for. It's like groovy, this, isn't it? Travel gently. Nice. Okay, so we've decided what we want to say, or whatever you fancy saying, and then we're just going to go for it. Right, bread's easy, so we're going to put the bread in. Yeah? Let's have a think. If it's going to sit in here, it's probably got to be a bit smaller, because look, it's got to be a bit smaller, isn't it? If I make it this big, how's that ever going to fit in there? Hey? It's true, isn't it? Should we have a practice first? And then condense it. Yeah, come on. Right, R, mouth, that's easy. Mouth. Okay. V, A. Oh, it's the vulture. See, what you could do, if you were a cheat, like me, you could trace out the vulture. Here you go. Piece of cake now. Hello, he's got trousers on as well. Big hook, nose, beak. There you go. That's the vulture. Tra. And then we go v. Oh, we got the chick now. So you put the old chick in place. Which one do you want? Pick your chick. There you go. Travel. I didn't do an E in the last one. E. Read. Easy. See? Go. Just to get your eye in. And then the E. Travel. Oh no, I'm cramming a bit here. L. The lion. Right, lion. Boom. Legs. Okay. So you've got your shape. That'll do. So that's not so easy, you know, that lion. Right, that's a lovely lion. It's better than my lions. My lions look a little bit like lionesses, not lions. That'll do. Right, travel. And then J for G. Pot. Pot's easy. Have you managed to download your hieroglyphic alphabet? Gently. E. So you got another read. So you don't have to have a read. I might lose the vowels, these ones, and just see. So you got the signs, but then I put the little E's in the English one, but not in the and then N. Water. Oh, that's easy. That one. That'll do. T. Bread again. Loaf. Okay. Loaf. And then we got L. Lion again. Right, so we put another lion in. See, travel gentle. So that's why we do it on tracing paper. See? It's easy when you trace it out though, look. Come on. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of opportunity to do freehand. Right, and then, so that's gentle, and then we, gently. So we've got another reed going in there behind the vase. Boom. V. So that, my friends, says travel gently in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. And there's no one that can tell us differently. Right, have you got the drift now? You understand how it works. It's pretty straightforward, but it's fun and it's easier, much easier if you've got the download. One of the other things, I wonder if did I do it? I did do it, yeah, because I was thinking this would be worth knowing if you wanted to do some Egyptian art, right? When you print the download off, I don't see anything wrong with tracing out these bits. And I also don't see anything wrong with reducing it in size. So if you wanted to go smaller, right, when you're tracing, look, just hit the small button, hit the reduce by 60% or 70% and just get your, it's so easy when you're printing this out, isn't it? And then you can write longer words. See, so probably, yeah. See, this is going to be more the speed. Or I have to keep it quite tight and lose the vowels if I'm using the large one. Right, so how does that sound? Yeah? Should we go for it? Come on then, let's have a cup of tea first. Let's think. We've got a plan now. Distraction, you see. Distraction. This fascinates me, hieroglyphics. I find it amazing, Mostly what I find amazing is that they didn't figure out the significance of the symbols until they discovered the Rosetta Stone, which we all know the Rosetta. I think, well, I can't assume that you know the Rosetta Stone. A lot of people think that it's the language school, teach yourself languages, Rosetta Stone. But obviously they took their name from the British Museum Rosetta Stone, which was discovered in a town called Rosetta in the 1800s by the French. And the only reason that we're able now to know that J is a cobra and K is a basket is because on the Rosetta Stone, and a lot of you will know this, but some of you may not, the Rosetta Stone is just a huge big black thing, but it's split into 3 sections, and the hieroglyphics were at the top. So, for example, if you, it's like a big black thing like that, right? Big black stone, and it's split into 3. And here were the hieroglyphics. So they were all the symbols that we're drawing now, right? Then in this area here, they were what was called demotic. So this was more the language for the local Egyptians, right? So it was it wasn't hieroglyphic. These were the pictures. This was the pictures. This was demotic. And then here, and this was the key, here they had ancient Greek. So that was really invaluable because it was the first time that you had the same text. It's a translator. You had the same text in 3 sections. And because we knew ancient Greek, the French and the English, we already were aware of ancient Greek. So we were able to take that and work out what that meant. And it was and therein lay the secret of the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone, I think it's spelled like this, Rosetta Stone. Named after the town Rosetta where it was found by the French. The reason we've got it is because it was found during the Napoleonic Wars. This is fascinating, I think. And the French started deciphering it because the guy, the general or who found it, he realised the significance of it. But then, of course, the English won the war, so they nabbed it, and it's in the British Museum. And I remember that from when I was a kid at school because it was a real breakthrough for linguists, you know, massive. It was what led to the deciphering of hieroglyphics. Cool, isn't it? And so today, look what a C is. A folded cloth, a hand. Look, D, a hand. I love the symbols. They're so simple, really. A house. Look at their houses. Look, H for house. So there's not really a lot of logic in the, you know, because there's no connection. In our heads, you'd think that W would be for water, but that's because we're English. They see it in a completely different way. So this is why, isn't it? I find this fascinating, this stuff. Fascinating. So should we go on to our picture? Are you going to go straight on to your artwork? Look, I did practice. I got really caught up in this. I loved it. I'm going to go with that one because I've already drawn it. I'm going on here, okay? Or I could go on a bit of tracing paper. No, I'm going to go straight on here. That's it. Yeah. Come on then. No, do you know what? Sorry to be a pain. I need to do it on tracing paper because you can see it better. So let's go again. You ready to do this? Just give me 2 minutes. It's been a hell of a week so far, and I'm so well prepared, and then I'm not well prepared because my head's going right. Tracing paper it is. Tracing paper it is. So grab your tracing paper, and let's do it nicely, and let's do it to fit. That's what we've got to do now, right? So we've worked out how it works. You're going to work out how what's the gap. That's what you've got to work out. What's the gap between her head and your vase? This is the key here. See, I shouldn't have done it to completion, but I was absorbed. So what you're going to do is use your ruler. There we go. And make a gap. Look, between the 2 areas here, and join these 2 bits of artwork up. That's what we're doing. Cool. I got there in the end. Sorry. Right, so we'll join those 2 bits of artwork up, and I'm going to use that bottom line on my ruler. Let's pretend there's a vase here. There you go, I'm going to draw a vase. Okay, vase in place. Right, and then I'm going to go like that to there, and then I'm going to give myself, I reckon 1.5 centimetres. So I'm using that line there then. Yeah? Excuse my head. And I'm going to come in like so. So that's my gap between the two. And then I'm going to give myself another, I'll turn it round so I can see, because I'm going to write travel gently above it as well. So that, because, yeah, unless you've got the key, the download, you won't have a clue what that means, will you? Or unless you're a student of the Rosetta Stone, you've got no hope. So we're going to write the translation in above. Cool. Yeah, that'll be nice. So I'm going to put the words in there. Oh, I know. I'm going to give myself another little breather there, because we could put a little bit of colour in, a little border. And I think that's quite big. I might give myself a little bit more. See, there'll be a temptation to make the signs too big. So if we're going to go travel gently, we need one. That's quite a big area. So I've got to make it smaller now. You've got choices, you know. If you had a light wave, have you got a light wave? You could trace through as well, through the paper. You could trace out your images through that. Do you get what I mean? I'll show you. Let me take my beautiful vase out of the way. And let me take my permanently in situ. See? And then I can take I'll show you, 1, 3, take that, and I can find, you see, I can find my symbols through here. I'm just saying that it's a possibility. I'm definitely going with the smaller symbols, the reduced symbols, so I'll never get it all in otherwise, you see. So that would be my way to go. Turf for travel, bread. So in goes the bread, like that. Just explaining. So I'll put my bread in there, travel. 1, 2, 3. So that's the T. Then R, then A, then V, E, L, J, E, N, T, L, Y. Yeah, I reckon if I keep it tight, I can get it all in. So what I'll do is, let me turn that off so you can see. I'll put my bread in there. So that's the T. Let's just put it down here lightly. Then we're going to go R, A, V, E, L. Just give yourself a little J, E, N, T, L, Y. So spread it out a bit more actually. See, I can spread it out more. So where's my rubber? I'm going to space it out a bit better. Give myself a bit more space. G, E, N, T, L, Y. Okay, turf for travel. Cool. Concentration required, Gray. Okay, so that's about it. That's where I'm going. Yeah? Should we come in a bit tighter? Travel gently. Okay, so should we use our light wave or should we draw it freehand? I reckon we should try freehand. So there's the bread. Then the R is the mouth. God, it's a bit tight, Gray. Mouth. Little mouth. And that's why we're not going to put the E in. That's why we're going to lose the E and spread out a bit. Okay? Look. Forget the E there and forget the E there. What was the E? The reed. Yeah, don't bother with the reed. Right. This is going to be fine. Right, so we've got the loaf of bread is the T. Then we're going to go R, the mouth. So the mouth is just an oval with the lips. It's a kind of thing that we could draw really easily. So we've got the T and the R. Now the vulture. This is where you're tempted, isn't it, to draw, to... I know. Now you think, tracings, and that doesn't sound such a bad idea, does it? Come on, we could do a vulture. Just give it a big hooky beak. Crikey. You don't want... And he's got really big... Yeah, look. Oh, blimey. You wouldn't want him coming your way. He would sort your chicks out. There. Vulture. Cool, look at the beak on him. And he's got ears. He's a horned vulture. Right. Voila. So now I can move my mouth over a bit. See? Okay. Do it really lightly first. That's what I'm going to say. Do it really lightly first. Then we can go back in. T-R-A-V. What is V? Oh, it's another bird. Chick. It's the chick. So it's a little baby one. Let's just do a little baby chick. Right, so this time, another little head for a bird. And then we'll do a wing, like that. Little chick. No, you look more like a toucan. Right. Okay. We'll just give him really stringy little legs. There you go. Travel. This is the lion. Oh, here comes the challenge. Right, get the G out of the way. The lion. See, the lion takes up a bit of space, really. I'll have to make my chick a bit smaller. Right, big mane. Rump in the air. Down it comes. Head. Big mane. There you go. Looks like a sphinx. Cool, he doesn't all. Bit of a tail. Okay. Right, I'm going to have to rejig my chick. Oh, that looks like looks more like a poodle, Barbara. It's all right. We're artists, people. There you go. Look, let's get that. Now, the head is good on that one. I might move my chick over a bit because that lion's right up his backside. Look. Get the chick out of there. He must be terrified. And that is a sizable chick. If that's the lion, get the chick over a bit. Oh, I drew it and now I've got to draw it again. Right, little stringy beak. That's better. Come on. Skinny legs. That'll do. Right, what we got? Travel. Well, we haven't got a lot of room for gently, have we? G. It's the pot. Oh, that's easy. Pot's easy. Ready? We won't leave a gap. Pot. With a little diamond in it. We won't have an E. We're not going to bother with the E because it's a reed. So we're going to go to the water. Gently. J. That's the G. Look, we've gone a bit mad on the travel. G. E. No. N. Water. That'll do. That's the water. Gent. Now T. Oh, it's the loaf of bread again. Easy. 1, 2, 3. And then we've got... Do you like this? Jigsaw puzzle. We've got the lion again. Lion. Okay. The lion again. I'm going to have to move my vase over a bit. Right, lion's tail. Travel gentle. These are Americans. No adverbs required. There you go. Travel gentle. Doesn't make sense. We're going to have to move the vase over a smidgen just to get the Lee in. There you go. Get the vase over. It's a skinny vase. Changed our minds. And now we can put the Y in. I love doing this. So we've got travel gent Y. The reeds. Cool. We've got enough room for the reeds now. In fact, now we've got enough room for 2 reeds. Boom. 1 reed. Looks like a comb. And the next reed. Looks like a comb. There you go. Travel gently. Who says? Isn't that cool? Well, there you have it. The Rosetta Stone gave us that key. Isn't that super? Not so good on the spacing. But that's all right because it's only rough, isn't it? Now we're going to pen it in. Right, so we pen this in and then we'll, once we've penned it, then we can colour it in. What do you think? Give you a chance to catch up. Travel gently. So you could write anything. That's the thing. It's an alphabet, you know. It's an alphabet. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. These would make great stamps, wouldn't they? I've just had an idea. Wouldn't that be great? Hieroglyphics. And then if we did it really arty, so that the symbols behind the letter, you know, like we do alphabets, you could do it really, really arty. Lucy, if you're listening, I've had an idea here. And then you could do the letter with the symbols. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Yes, I think so too. Right, how are your symbols looking? Are they going well? I'm looking forward to colouring those in as well. So just let you catch up so you decided, because you might be rubbing out now and cramming a little bit. I want to make you aware of something. You remember last month we did we did a moment of clarity on a Friday afternoon, right? And you stamped along and you worked along with me like a proper little craft along a Barbie session. Remember where I said that instead of, because we can't go to the exhibitions, we thought we'd bring the exhibition to you. And we just had a really lovely set of stamps, and then we sent them out early to you. You bought them a week early, and then we crafted along together, just for fun. And it worked really well. And so the next craft along, clarity, moment of clarity, is next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, the 19th at 3 o'clock. And so I thought I need to tell you now what we're going to use so that if you want to join in, you can get it. So we'll just park this for a minute. It's really cool and it's completely connected to the SHAC. So let me show you what we're going to do and then you decide whether you want to join in next week. I've got to show you this. So excited about these ones. These are so cool. Right, do you remember when we went to Holland? Look. Right, let me just pan out a little bit. Oh, now I've moved the camera. Sorry, people. Right, okay. So we went to Holland and we did those houses and we did the carrot people. Do you remember when we did the carrot people? And we've got tulips and we've got the bridge underneath the watermill and we've got that lovely rope chain. So it's all there. Also, so are the masks. So we've got that set and then, and this is the key, the little buttons. Look, do you remember when we did the set, we were putting buttons in the corner? So we've got these fantastic buttons. Let me show you my set without the glare. See if I can show you my set. Let me get a bit of white card. Right, have a look at the buttons up close. These are just ridiculously superb, right? So what we've done is we've put together this set, and for you groovers in the SHAC with Paul, I nearly said it, we've got the plates as well. I know, absolutely delicious. They are so good. They're so good. And what we're going to do is, right, so we've got the groovy plates and we've got the stamps. And what that would all together, well, there's a very, very good price. We've made them available from today. So Paul's going to give you the links for these. And then if you want the stamps, you can get the stamps. If you just want the groovy, you just get the groovy. And with the groovy, that's another thing. Don't think, because when you bought the Love Groovy, don't think for a moment that we're not going to use these. I've got another idea down the road. We're going to have a pyjama party using these, okay? So get them, because I've got a date lined up with you, but it's too much to do this and that in the moment of clarity shows, because they're only an hour and a quarter, aren't they? But I've been thinking long and hard about these things, and I thought, I know, like Paul does the SHAC on a Tuesday, doesn't he? The Groovy Groovy Tuesday, and I was thinking I'd really like to have a date, because we can never go anywhere anymore. Well, things will change, but for the moment, it might be really fun to hang out on a Friday night, you know, all gathered together in our PJs, right, have an early tea, and then in real time, have a groovy evening. Just all of us, just sit down, have these and work together. What do you think? The love one, yeah, we're going to do that. Pajama party and the windmill one. I'm looking forward to that idea. You know, I think that would be great. Great way to spend a Friday night, right? So these are available. And of course, if you're in the club, you get the discounts and what have you as well. So these are the two main things. And if you buy these at the moment, right, this is the other thing. At the moment, we've got we had the half price members sale. So we're up to here in Crocodiles at the moment. We've got orders coming out of our ears trying to get them, you know, get them pushed through. But what Paul and I have said is anything these are, the sale, these override the sale. They have to. The sale is a half price sale and we're having to make to honour all the things in the sale. So people will just have to bear with us and we're working hard. But this one, because there's obviously a deadline attached to this, right? As soon as we see these orders, they will take precedence. Over they will go. And so there's two different streams. There's two different picking and packing streams. And this is the moment of clarity stream. Okay. Same with any full price orders. They jump ahead. They have to, you know. So that's that. That's what I wanted to explain. Really excited about those two things. Good. Paul, if you could just put up the link, that would be marvellous. You've probably already done it, haven't you? But I think that'll be ideal. And now what we're going to do is pen these little fellas. So when you take are you with me on this? Let me just take my pen. Right. So we're going to pen these guys. I've already penned my whole picture, you see. I got carried away, you know, living proof about being in the zone, that it really does work. See, I've already done mine. Travel gently. So what I want to do now is put them in. Actually, do you know what? I really like that. I missed the little... Now it looks like a loaf of bread. There's the other loaf of bread. So you can put that in after you've coloured it as well. My lines look a little bit ropey. I might have to give... Let me just think. If I came in there like that, that looks more like it. It looks more like he's got a proper mane now. That's better. Right. Okay. And my water, I made a double so I could colour it in. Yeah. Okay. Should we pan out a bit more? Come back in a bit closer again. So let's pen these then. Have you done all this? Have you done all your lovely penning here? Because what we're going to do on Friday is the shading. Right, so on Friday, we're going to pen this now, just for the last 5 minutes. And then on Friday, all you need is just grab your pencils, you know, your polychromos or your pergoliners and your shading pencils, your greys and your pencils. And we're going to just start sweeping through this. And we'll do her headdress, but we'll do shadow. We'll do grey first, and then we'll add a splash of colour. Because there's colours all in the hieroglyphics, really. And in her headdress, and in the vase, and in the... Right, so now what we'll do is we'll just add let's get our shapes, let's get our eye in. And if it's a little bit crowded at that end, I can move everything, I can shuffle everything over a little bit now. So at least I know that it's spelt correctly. That's funny. Now I've got my vulture with the legs. Here we go. Super. And I've got a little chick. I think I might give the chick a little crest. It looks like something out of Modern Toss. Look, that'll do. Right, and then we've got the lion. How's your lion looking? There you go, that's his... I think I might give him a little bit of a... Looks like a sphinx. Hey? And the tail. I think I'll make his tail point that way. That's better. Right, definitely the lion. Then we've got the pot, which is the G. So this is the gently. No gap between words, Barbara. Fun. Water. Let's do some water. So I think I'll do the water like that. And then I'll do another one above it. So I've got something to colour in. That's it. That looks good. I'll bring the loaf over. The loaf is easy. Un, deux, trois. Then we've got another lion. Get the whole mane going. So this has been interesting. There. Inking up our reeds, which is a Y. Put another one in, tighten it up a bit. There you go. Oh, lovely. You wouldn't think it was a language, would you? I love that, it is. I love that, you know. And it's so obvious, isn't it? So obvious that you would go to your surroundings to communicate, you know. Right, so what we need now is a rubber. So I'm going to gently, with the red rubber, I'm just going to rub out the pencil in the background. Right, just get rid of the pencil. That chick. That'll do. Get that done. There you go. All right. Now let's put our English letters in over the top in this little gap here, so we know what we're actually working on here. So that's the T. R. This is A, the vulture. Then the V is the chick. Then we didn't bother with the E, so I just put a little E there. Then we got so the L for lion is the only one that correlates with our language. Then we've got G for pot, which doesn't make sense, but just trust me. Then the E again we didn't bother with because it was too tight. N. T again for the loaf of bread. And then the lion again was the L. That's the only one that makes sense to us English people. And then Y. There you go. There. Travel gently. Isn't that fabulous? And we unlocked a key, didn't we? Didn't we unlock a key there? Then when you take, and this is where it comes into play with this buff paper, because of course when you use the B pencils from the pergoliners, or you use the polychromos, they are deluxe. Of course, the opaque, oily pencils, they sit really beautifully on this buff paper. So we've still got that kind of oldie, worldy feel, like papyrus, but we can add colour as well. And if you've ever been to Egypt and got collared in one of those gift shops in Cairo, then you'll know that it's very bright. You know, I mean, obviously the old ones are really faded. You know, this is a bit more colourful. When they're thousands of years old, they tend to fade a little bit. Having said that, though, they're buried, aren't they? There's so much of this stuff was buried for so many thousands of years that when they unearthed it, the vivid colours just blew the doors off. We were just watching the most amazing film. Have you seen The Dig? The Dig? It's an English film. I think it's on Netflix. I can't remember. Just look up The Dig. yeah, and it's about an archaeological. It's like the biggest haul they ever had, and it was right at the beginning of the Second World War in 1939. I won't tell you any more about it, but it was in Suffolk. It was in our own country, and it was just on a wealthy lady's land. But it's just fascinating, and it's based on a true story. Yeah. And it was all about the find, and what blew the real, you know, when they discovered this Anglo-Saxon, this was, right, when they discovered this really ancient treasure, this burial, it was the quality of the headdresses and the jewellery and the belts and the armour was just amazing, because it had been buried for so long. You know, it was like from Anglo-Saxon 700, about then. It was a lot. It was even earlier than they anticipated. You know, when they got there, they had obviously they had a load of experts there, but it was a fascinating film. If you're looking for a good watch, The Dig. We've had a session with some really good films, you know, because at the end of the day, you know what we can't leave the house, not safely at the moment, and so we can't travel, we can't go out, and so after a while, if we're not crafting, you can't do this all day. Your neck would seize up. What do? You know, so you have to let the mind, you have to expand the mind somehow, either with reading or reading is a big one. Audible, I listen to books a lot at the moment. I'm writing to Daphne du Maurier. See, and then what happens is her words, they just transport you to another place. Like the SHAC, it takes you, here we are in Egypt, learning about hieroglyphics. And so all the time we're expanding our minds, we're massaging our heads, we're giving ourselves some kind of interesting thing to entertain us, divert us, distract us. And the films at the moment, if you're looking for good films, there's so much rubbish on the telly, it's like mind-numbing. There's films that I've been watching this week, like a real stream. Make a note of these if you haven't seen them. One's called and they're all from the same period, they're all from the Second World War period. One's called Summerland. Beautiful film, Summerland, and not disturbing. Not, even though it's a war film, it's not horrific. It's a feel-good film, really feel-good film, right? Summerland is brilliant to watch. Then The Dig, excellent. And the one we watched last night was called the literary. What was it? The literary. It'll come to me. Potato peel pie. The Guernsey. Is it Guernsey? The Guernsey and the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Absolutely beautiful film. Like a little bit more. Yeah, it gets to you a bit. It's there's sadness, but there's goodness, and it's got a fabulous ending. So that I always want to know that the ending's okay. If the ending's okay, I can cope with it, you know. But those three films are so. Let me just put a little bit of blue over that green in the tips there. It's a green and red mouth. Why did I think it was don't matter. Who says? Then we'll put a little bit on the falcon. We'll put a bit of the ivory or a light colour, or white if you've got white. Yeah, but if you're looking for distraction, you know, or entertainment if you like, just something to do to while away the time, but in a constructive way. There you go, look. Look at the state of that. Still, I suppose it's like handwriting. You got dodgy, some people got nicer handwriting than others. Hey, my handwriting was better here than it is here. But it doesn't mean you can't read it if you're an ancient Egyptian. An ancient Egyptian could walk in here and go, travel gently. Yes, you too, my dear. So those are the films. It's important, really. If you've got a chance to watch them, one's called The Dig. One's called Summerland. Blimmin' good films, like proper, excellent acting. And the other one's called, is it Guernsey? Guernsey, literary and potato, because obviously Guernsey was occupied by the Germans in the Second World War. Potato Peel Pie Society, that's what it was called. Right, that's that film. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. And there you go. So that's Thursday night sorted, Friday night sorted, Saturday night sorted. You know, it's all about just making a plan. You know, like making a plan. We make a plan of what we're going to do in the evening, so we're not rudderless and we're not just sitting wasting our lives. You know, and we decide what we're going to cook, what we're going to, you know, what we're going to cook, but we've never eaten, and I don't mean so well. I mean, obviously we're eating a lot, but we've never eaten so well. You know, like we take the time to cook proper food and watching good films, listening to good books, reading good books. I'm reading a really beautiful book called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Lovely, you know, meaningful. And so rather than troll through Facebook and lose hours, I'm reading The Prophet, which is really enriching and it just takes your thinking to the next level, you know. Yeah, so I guess it's just about staying safe and staying creative, you know. And so today we've had a little dabble in hieroglyphics about the Rosetta Stone. And on Friday we'll get together and we'll just sweep shade and colour and dimension into this, okay? And then, of course, if you want to continue up here, you can. But I think on Friday, after Friday, it'd be time to come home, you know? Time to come home. I think 2 weeks in the sun is plenty, don't you? So the old bus is going to be leaving Egypt on Friday. And don't forget, if you want to join in the following Friday in the Moment of Clarity, be sure to get your Holland stamps and groovy. Well, the stamps is what we're definitely going to be using on the Friday, and there'll also be a list of ingredients. So during the course of the week, I'll be saying, like, well, I know that I'm going to use the backdrop stamps, for example. I know I'm going to use some Distress Oxide ink pads, but I'll make sure that I give you an ingredients list. So there you go. We're here to keep you company. Paul, thank you so much for your help. Always, what would I do without you? And I hope you enjoyed that. And stay warm, stay safe. And I'll see you on, what's today? What is today? Wednesday. I'll see you on Friday. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.